One thing I can always count on to expand is recalls. So we mentioned the radioactive shrimp maybe about 2 weeks ago now. One thing I said for sure is definitely watch out for this recall because more than likely it will expand. That means more products to make the list of being recalled. So I think about a few days ago they did update the list. So let's see exactly what's going on with that. And I'm officially checking in over here at Moments with Us. You all check in. Let us know where you're watching from and how you are doing. Of course, I'm checking in from Northern New Jersey. Back to the personal situation. Let's head into this Dollar Tree over in Maplewood. Stable level is also A plus. These past few years showed me. Hey fam, welcome back to another video. Today is Saturday, so happy Saturday. This is Shauna and I'm officially checking in over here at Moments with Us. You all check in. Let us know where you're watching from and how you are doing. Of course, I'm checking in from Northern New Jersey. All right, fam. So much to discuss from recalls and things that's just happening around the world. So stay tuned. So if you do receive benefits or if you know someone that do receive benefits, they are also making changes. And with these benefits, this do apply to SNAP recipients. So here's some frozen vegetables that's on recall right now. You might use these vegetables in stews or soup. So it's frozen peas and carrots, frozen vegetables that have been recalled due to listeria. The company did say that they stopped distributing the frozen vegetables once they found out about the recall, but let me let y'all know exactly what it is. So this is important being that some of us is into preserving food, whether it's canning, whether it's dehydrating, whether it's just freezing the item, and being that this is a frozen food item already, yeah, you might want to check to see if you have this item. So frozen vegetables recalled in multiple states over contamination fears. So this is a New York based company and they're recalling multiple lots of frozen vegetables after sampling done in Pennsylvania tested positive for that listeria, guys. So the products under the recall sold by Indico Potatoes Inc. of Mount Vernon are the 2.5-pound bags of frozen peas and carrots and frozen mixed vegetables. So the bags bearing the Indico label were distributed between July 18th and August 4th of 2025. So to stores in New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, Maryland, Washington, D.C., and Florida. And that's according to the FDA. Indico, they did say they stopped distributing the frozen veggies after the positive lab test. And this is according to their release. There is a current investigation going on to see what was the cause of the problem. So it's a possibility that it can be more items than listed, just because it's an open investigation. So they didn't come up with the cause. So any shoppers who think they might have bought indigo frozen vegetables should check the bags in their freezers. Sorry guys, for the following affected items. So here's a list of those items here. If you want to just take a picture, you have the lot cold, the peas and carrots, lot 110625. Production date is 6/11/25. Best if used by 6/10/27. See, I'm quick to take them frozen vegetables, being that they're already blanched, put them in my dehydrator and then save it for a later date. Um, so yeah, if you're not really too keen on remembering the packaging of your, items that you take out of the packaging, then that could be an issue. Because sometimes when I buy some, I don't always remember the name of the brand that whatever item I use. So mixed vegetables, the lot number is 170625, production date, 6/25, used by date 6/27, basically. Of course, it's that listeria. They saying it can survive in the freezer. Who would have known? They say it can cause two forms of, diseases. Of course, you have the gastrointestinal listeria. which is less severe, and then you have the invasive listeria, which is more severe, they're saying. They're saying symptoms can include fever, muscle aches, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, generally lasting for 1 to 3 days. So here's what that packaging do look like. Um, and here's that production date at the bottom. That's the location. I guess that's the only pictures they had to share with us, huh? Yeah, pretty much. All right, they saying that with the invasive listeria or listeriosis, the listeria spreads beyond the intestines, potentially causing headaches, stiff neck. Wow, one of my kids was complaining about a stiff neck for like a day and a half. Confusion, loss of balance, and convulsions. The disease can be deadly for newborns, adults, and people over 65, with weakened immune systems. As of Thursday, they're saying that there have been no documented cases. And being that everybody getting sick nowadays, around this time of the year, especially with the temps changing so sudden, I think that a lot of people just saying, hey, I'm coming down with something because of the temps changing. And I've been hearing that a lot. Not knowing that you can possibly have this listeria going on. So if you do have any of these recalled products, or if you have any questions, you might want to call that 1-800-431-1398. You can also get your full refund at the store where it was purchased. All right, so there it is right there. So here we are. It's titled CA's Radioactive Shrimp Recall Expands to More Products Sold by These Companies. So here's the massive recall of radioactive shrimp. And it expanded once again. I guess it expanded more than once since I last updated this, huh? Sold in California. Here's what we need to know. So most brands have been added, to an already massive recall of potentially radioactive shrimp. So let's just jump right into it. Of course, this is ongoing with the recent recall notice that is tied to an investigation by the agency into the detection of the cesium-137 in shipping containers, which, can cause the things to be, I guess, radioactive, right? So the products distributed between July 17th and August 8th to retailers, distributors, and wholesalers include frozen, cooked, and raw shrimp sold under the Sandbar, Best Yet, Arctic Shores, Great American, and First Street brands. So if you bought shrimp, check your freezer. The Best Buy dates extended into 2027. They do have a full list. Earlier on, the FDA did warn customers or consumers not to eat the Walmart Great Value brand of frozen shrimp products without first checking to see if they are involved in that recall. Because as far as Walmart state, no Walmart stores in California have been impacted by the shrimp recall. But the cocktail shrimp that was sold in select Walmart stores in 13 states is affected, just not in California. So if it's from, let's say, Florida, Georgia, and Pennsylvania between July 31st and August 16th in a refrigerator section, if you purchased it and it had a 12-day shelf life, California Walmarts were not included in this recall. They also added that 19 states that's not affected by the Walmart shrimp recall includes Arizona, California, Connecticut, Delaware, Hawaii, Massachusetts, Maryland, Maine, North Carolina, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, Nevada, Rhode Island, South Carolina, Utah, Virginia, and Vermont. But if the state is not listed, does that mean that the other states are affected by the recall? Well, if you do need more information on that, have the cocktail shrimp here. Product type, of course, is the shellfish contaminants. If you do have of course, that shellfish allergy, you would not be touching any shrimp anyway. So here's more. They have the whole announcement here. If you go directly to the FDA.gov, you can find more about recalls. And if y'all didn't know, when it comes down to this whole radioactive shrimp, if you consume this for long enough, did you know that you can actually kind of give yourself cancer if you consume this for long enough. That's what it says. It says basically consumption of contaminated food, let's say, or water over time that it's radioactive, basically, is an elevated risk of cancer resulting from damage to the DNA within living cells of the body. Yeah, so if you've been eating this contaminated shrimp for long enough and you stored enough and serve, have it over time, can definitely, jumpstart your body to having some cancer. Isn't that crazy, guys? The world is just such a crazy place. Radioactive shrimp, and then you could possibly get cancer from it. Man, what's next? So far, when it comes down to the SNAP restrictions, a lot of SNAP recipients might not even be aware of these changes until they try to go and make a purchase. And then they come to find out that the item is now restricted. You cannot purchase. And I see a lot of angry customers, at the checkout lane because now they have to cover the cost of the unhealthy items that they once was able to purchase, and now they can't purchase it. At least with their SNAP benefits. So I believe 12 states have passed so far, the waivers for not being able to purchase soda and candy. It's not all snack products neither, guys. I think it's like soda and candy. We're going to, be for sure in a few seconds. Soda and candy, with your SNAP benefits. They're saying that hopefully with this change, they can reduce the amount of foot, traffic is going through the stores. And of course, push households towards healthier options. So let's see exactly what states are for sure making these changes. And what are some of the items that they're actually going to exclude or restrict from you purchasing? So listen out for your state. So these are, to go into effect 2026. Some of them is middle of January. Some of them are in the beginning of January. Just know the first of the month. When January hit, some items may be restricted. So listen out for your state, especially if you do receive benefits. So Arkansas, 2026, guys, they're banning soda, candy, and fruit and vegetable drinks with less than 50% of natural juice. Colorado, banning soft drinks. Florida, banning soda, energy drinks, candy, and prepared desserts. Wow. So if you go to the bakery and get the cakes, the birthday cakes and stuff, is that banned now? Well, would it be banned? Idaho banning soda and candy. Indiana banning soft drinks and candy. Iowa banning all taxable food items. Please explain. As defined by the state, with exceptions for food producing plants and seeds. This includes soda, candy, and certain snacks. Louisiana banning soft drinks, energy drinks, and candy. I'm telling y'all that this list will keep on going. Nebraska banning soda and energy drinks. Oklahoma banning soft drinks and candy. Texas banning sweetened drinks and candy. Utah banning soft drinks. West Virginia is banning soda. Nationwide SNAP purchase exclusions in all states. SNAP benefits already cannot be used to purchase certain items under federal law, of course. These restrictions will continue to apply in addition to any new state level bans. Of course, items that's not allowed, if you guys did not know, is some here. Of course, you cannot purchase alcoholic beverages, tobacco products. Why would you? Hot and prepared foods, vitamins, medicines, supplements, and non food items or live animals. All right, guys. So there's the updated list of the states there with some of the items that they are banning starting in 2026. Let us know. Do y'all think that this is fair? I mean, it would push for families to buy healthier items, but it kind of controls what they can buy at the same time. Um, I don't know, guys. Make the healthier options, like I said, more affordable. We can start there as well. Offer nutrition training or classes for anyone who's receiving SNAP. It's the same that they used to do at WIC way back. I remember when I first applied for WIC, guys. We had to do a nutrition training before even receiving our WIC checks. And that's when WIC checks were a thing. Before receiving any WIC, which is women, infants, and children, it's a little, checks to help out with the monthly cost of, healthy food. Sounds more like what SNAP is probably going to become. Um, we, after, doing our little certification or whatever, a part of that certification, you had to do a nutrition training, which include, how would you balance out a nutritional meal? How they have the little plate, this amount of protein, this amount of grain, this amount of fat. We had to do all of that. And I think maybe includes recipes and all, healthy recipes and all. How can you put, your beans and your rice and then a selection of meat? What are some things that you can cook that's more healthier? That type of training would work for SNAP recipients. It should be offered. Maybe it is offered nowadays and I just don't know. But it should be offered if it's not. And I think that would help because a lot of families are pushing more so to quick and easy and what they can afford. And teaching more about meal planning can definitely save families time, money, because if you haven't meal planned and you don't feel like cooking, you're gonna go grab the cheap and easy thing, and that's from experience. I mean, we all probably did it before. None of us are perfect. I don't know. I think you got to get to the bottom of it before you try to, take away from the top of it. And that's with any situation. That's with any situation, like the economy, for instance. The rent is so darn high. You got families going to live in their vehicle or at the nearest bus stop or parks or whatever. Do these families have SNAP benefits? I'm sure they do. Sorry, guys. But there go one of the issues there. How can a family afford to survive? And then if they have SNAP benefits and they have to purchase these whole healthy foods, where are they going to store these whole healthy foods? They're going to go for the quick and easy options that they can take and go because they don't have a refrigerator, oven, or, even microwave to put these items in. Corner store sandwiches, food that's being prepared in the mommy and poppy stores. Items like that. The snacks is something that they're quickly grabbing and going because guess what? They don't have a home to live in. And I've seen this. Like, I'm from Newark, New Jersey, guys. I've seen it. I've seen it all. And the cost of living is ridiculous. And that really, it's like the domino effect. It's going to fall down, to the next problem, the next problem, the next problem to the person itself. And if you haven't experienced it yourself, of course, you wouldn't really know, the situation or what it's like. Even if you've seen it, if you haven't really walked in the shoes, it's one of those, if you haven't really walked in the shoes or really was that close to a person where you've actually seen these situations, then you probably wouldn't know what it's like. I've seen it. I've been there, And it is what it is, guys. We're going to leave this video right here where it's at. Should they continue to ban certain items on, with SNAP benefits? And like, I'm not going to say no and I'm not going to say yes. They're going to do what they do at the end of the day. Would it help? Yes, it would help families push for healthier options, but you got to make it more affordable, right? And like I said, it's not just that. It goes further. And it goes further than that. But more states will be added to this list of, states that signed a waiver to ban junk food in general. More items would be added to this list. It's not going to just be y'all already see, first it was just soda and candy. Now it's soda, candy, soft beverages, and some states even included certain junk foods. So your little bag of popcorn or maybe your bag of chips or, your 50% juice or whatever, more items would be added to this list. I wonder if they add something like cereal. Because even like the healthy foods really isn't so healthy. If you go look at the back of the container, they claim it's healthy, but it's not. Or fix the food from the jump. How a company is going to arrange, taking a hit to the, you know, taking a hit. They're taking a hit too, because if certain families can't afford it out of their own pocket and they can't use their SNAP benefits, then they ain't gonna purchase it. And that's the plan right there. That's the plan right there. And it is what it is. We're going to leave this video right here where it's at. If you did enjoy today's video, all you have to do is subscribe just like that to become part of the family. Of course, let us know your thoughts about these crazy old recalls and this SNAP ban going on with certain products. And if you feel as if you would be affected, of course, drop it down below. And that's pretty much it. We plan to go into more stores starting up again. So hopefully you all stay tuned. Kids are back in school. And Lord, it was a long summer. And the Lord knows himself. I've been going through it with these children. Love you guys. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for taking the time to come over here and hang and chat with us. And that is pretty much it. This is Shauna. And I'm officially checking out from Moments with Us. You all stay prepped, stay blessed, stay safe, and most of our remain beautiful queens and kings. Love you all and God bless. Peace out.